Well, I figured this would happen. Steven Crowder plans to sue the panties off of YouTube. This comes after YouTube hit Crowder's channel with the second hard strike a few days ago, blocking him from posting content on his main channel Louder with Crowder and his second channel Crowder Bits for 2 weeks. This stems from a long line of YouTube being complete dicks to Crowder in an effort to boot him off the platform in a way that didn't look partisan or petty. Hey YouTube, you failed. First there was a Voxpocalypse, as Crowder calls it, from back in 2019 when a flaming Mexican bitched to YouTube about Crowder calling him what he calls himself and making fun of him, which you'd never expect a comedian to do. The Mexican was successful in his bitching though, resulting in YouTube fucking with the ad revenue of tens of thousands of channels, getting people demonetized and getting some channels outright removed from YouTube, not for anything to do with singing or kindling, but just from the fallout. History channels were demonetized or struck for talking about historical events. Channels like Englandines were seemingly nerfed and shadow banned for no apparent reason. All hell rained down on content creators because the power bottom couldn't take a joke. This also resulted in Crowder's channel being permanently demonetized, but after a year, YouTube decided to lift the ban and remonetize the channel, which they also leaked to the lefty press before informing Crowder or his lawyer. Totally by accident, I'm sure. Then earlier this year, YouTube hit Crowder with a strike for stating actual verifiable facts about the Wu flu, specifically that the regular flu is more deadly to children than the Pooh Bear coup. The second strike came when Crowder and his team supported a cop who saved a girl from being stabbed to death, or as YouTube put it, reveled in the death of an identifiable person. Never you mind that said identifiable person was trying to stab someone else to death and therefore needed to be stopped. Never mind that there are scores of videos on YouTube making fun of people being attacked and killed by BLM rioters, conservatives who died of COVID, violence against Jews, Asians, and white people. Never mind that numerous late-night hosts make similar jokes as Crowder, sometimes going after private citizens, which YouTube allows, something Crowder pointed out on Twitter. Nothing he said is any different than a joke said by Colbert or Kimmel, except for who Crowder targets and that he's openly conservative. It looks like YouTube is trying to find any reason to remove Crowder, so Crowder plans to sue YouTube and seek an injunction to bar them from doing anything else while the suit is going on. Honestly, this has been a long time coming because YouTube has been ridiculous in what they've done on this so-called platform. The idea behind YouTube was originally that anyone could post whatever they wanted as long as they didn't break the law. Now, the rules are intentionally vague so you have no idea what is and isn't allowed, and they're unfairly applied, so that certain people are allowed to post whatever they want, while others have their content pulled. Young Ripper has gone through this twice for literally quoting the CDC, showing the quoted content on screen, and YouTube still pulling the videos only to put them back up because he did nothing wrong. And that's just related to the Wu flu. When it comes to politics, to comedy, history, or just general commentary, YouTube does whatever they want. As viewers of this channel may remember, last year my channel and several others were targeted by Sony for talking about the leaks from The Last of Us Part 2. We got copyright strikes for posting a single frame of Macho Man Abby Savage holding a golf club. I had another issue this year and last year with Christina Wombrun, the idiot who wrote the article claiming the orcs from Lord of the Rings were coded as black and therefore were racist. Simply using her image and bio she put in her own article was considered a violation of privacy and YouTube removed the original video. You see numerous content creators like The Quartering and Tim Pool dancing around topics because they can't say what they want to say because it would violate YouTube's vague policy, even though these are the same things that are said on news networks all the time. You have YouTube demonetizing videos for things that are allowed on basic TV. It's insane and it needs to stop. I hope Crowder is successful in this suit. It's possible that YouTube might back off just because of the threat of the suit, but I doubt it. If this goes to court, then it could really help set precedent for what social media companies are allowed to do to users when they're claiming to be a platform and provider and not a publisher. If YouTube is meant to be a public forum as Google claims, then it needs to be open to everyone, and people need to be allowed to say whatever they want. We don't need YouTube telling us what to believe, and we don't need them to block and censor content, especially if they're only doing it for partisan reasons. The laws passed in Florida and Texas are a path to holding social media companies accountable for their vague policies and unfair applications of them, but I think it's going to take one of these companies losing in court to really change things. This may be the case where that happens, so I wish Crowder luck.